Welcome back. Wait, where's my camera? Right here. All right, let's go. 3, 2. Welcome back, everybody, to another La Familia podcast. We got a very, very special episode today, bro. We got Hector in the building. Big shout out, Hector. You don't have the round of applause thing on there?
No.
That'd be amazing.
There ain't no sound effects on here, though.
But it's good. It's good though, because I know we y'all are clapping at the crib or whatever. But then I really appreciate you coming on, bro.
Bro, I love you.
I appreciate you. He was so kind enough to offer us his setup, the cameras and everything, and that's why it looks different from usual. Not that we have really a set spot, anyways, but you can tell it's a little different. That's because he was so kind enough to offer all his stuff here. So I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
I love you, bro. It's too easy.
Let's just pop it off.
Yeah, bro.
Let's just pop it off. For those, we recorded one about a couple years ago, an episode. I don't know if you remember. It was at Center.
We did. Oh my, wait, but
it was at Center like 2 years ago.
You didn't interview me, right?
Yeah.
Well, sure?
No, I didn't interview you. It was just like a general. I think we were raising some money for something. What was it for? Afghanistan.
Oh, I think it was just a general collaboration.
And Isaiah made the shirts.
With Isaiah,
we had the shirts. Yeah. So it wasn't really like an interview, like sit down. It was just like a general conversation.
Well,
what are we doing?
It's us now.
But now we're here.
We're back, brother.
And now I can,
sir.
really ask you some questions.
Yes, sir.
And a lot has changed since then.
A lot has changed.
A lot has changed. So I'm just gonna dive right in, bro. Hector, give just like a small little intro, and then we'll just dive right in.
My name is Hector Alejandro Guerrero. I am from Oak Cliff. Amen.
Praise
Shout out. I'm not a thug in any way, shape, or form. I do have Oak Cliff tatted on me, though. Hold it. Hold it. Oh.
Yes, sir.
And it's still like, I'm still colonized because this is like the whitest tattoo ever. It's
it really is like American traditional.
It's not Mexican at all. Yeah, I'm from Oak Cliff, which is a really big part of my life where most of my friends are from. And I am a self-learned producer from YouTube. I learned everything from just watching videos. And I worked at a church for the last 6 years. I felt the Lord tell me to quit. I started my production company. It only made around like 25 grand in an entire year, so less than like a part-time wage. So I had to bartend every single weekend.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
Because I want to get into that.
Okay.
A little bit deeper.
Okay.
But just to kind of, you're Hector from Oak Cliff. You grew up in Oak Cliff your whole life?
My whole life. My parents still have the same house that they bought. My dad, Tito, bought that house in Oak Cliff, and it was worth, I think he bought it for $14,000.
Damn.
And in Oak Cliff, bro, like right now,
$14,000.
Right now, they've offered him like $280 for it, just because of the location.
Yeah, and they're turning everything down.
Hey,
and
bro,
all that stuff,
it's gentrification. It's super sad.
I got a friend that stays in the Cliff right now. I think they offered her at 300, something like that. So it's crazy.
Hey, all the little Mexicans won in life who got a house in West Oak Cliff.
It's like, bro, what was I doing in 2008 and 2009? Like, why didn't I buy a house? It's like, bro, I fumbled.
We were kids.
So
we were children.
I should have bought a house, though. There's no excuses.
Our parents should have bought us a house to help us out. They were not. Hey, bro, our parents were not looking out for us when we were young.
Not at all. They definitely fumbled. All right, so you kind of mentioned your company that you started, right? Tiger Teeth Creative. Okay. You worked at a church before. You said 6 years, right? 6 years prior. Talk about that, from kind of going from that to Tiger Teeth Creative and really just being on your own. And you saying, you had to have a second job and whatnot. So just talk about that leap, bro, because it really is a huge leap.
Yeah, I worked at the church for so long right out of high school. So I just grew up really fast career-wise. I immediately jumped into, it was a janitor job, hilariously enough, but it taught me everything, dude.
Yeah.
It taught me I had to take care of a building. I was in charge of taking care of like people, and I also volunteered in youth ministry the whole time.
Yeah.
So in this whole time frame, I just started dying on the inside. Even though we're doing awesome things for God and we're helping a lot of people, I was dying inside because I just felt like there was something more for me. And it's so funny, dude. I was working at a church and I'm in a place where we're preaching to kids, and we're going to the schools, and we're preaching to the football teams and the basketball teams, and helping a lot of kids give their life to the Lord, helping them financially. And I was the most suicidal I had ever been in my life. In that whole time frame, I had attempted, I think, twice, and I ideated on suicide the entire time. And one sec, hold it.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was trying to make sure that I don't forget something, and we're Gucci now for Christ.
Right.
But
praise him.
Yeah, that whole time frame, I suffered so much on the inside, and I don't know what it is, but I just knew something had to change, and they were grooming me, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They were grooming me to be the youth pastor.
Yeah,
not in like some creepy pedophile way.
Because grooming is kind of a strong.
We're not talking about the sus groom.
But
they were preparing me to
be beneficial grooming.
Yes,
that was needing to take place.
No, they were preparing me to be youth pastor, and I had said yes to it. I was saying yes to everything that was coming my way, and it was a mistake because it was just it was rooted in people pleasing, and I was just saying yes to everything because I didn't want to fail anybody, and I thought it was the right thing to do. I was in my young 20s. I'm 26 now, but I was like early 20s.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a career move. I just got married. Yeah, sure. But during COVID in 2020, I was like, this is not it, bro.
Yeah.
I just knew it. I started gaining some inner confidence. And even though I said that, I still told the Lord, I prayed. I said, God, I don't want to do this. Like, no way in hell do I want to be a youth pastor. Jesus Christ, I don't want to be a youth pastor. And I said, but no matter what, I'm submitted to you.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is it, cool. Dog, I kid you not, as soon as I said that, on the inside of me, whether it was him or it was just something in my belief system, I felt something in my head tell me, you're released.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like I had the validation I needed to quit.
Mm-hmm.
After I committed in my heart, I'm submitted to do something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know? So as soon as I heard that, I called my boss and all the people involved. I say, yo, I'm going to finish the year out, which was only about 3 months left.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm wrapping this up.
Yeah.
And I felt the Lord tell me to just start my own business. And I just finished the year out, bro. And it was the best thing I could have ever done.
Talk a little bit about submitting, even though you didn't want to. Talk a little bit about that process of just getting there, because not a lot of people understand, like, even though I know I could probably go do this or have a better job, that's not what God wants for me.
Man, there's always two sides to it. There's two sides to it, and in the middle, you have a decision to make. You have a decision. I had so many decisions to make of, is this a day where I'm a young buck and I just submit to where I am in life? I'm submitted to this job, and I stay put until I feel something in my heart tell me, okay, now you go do the next thing.
Yeah.
So I really try not to over spiritualize it. I try to kick ass in anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
In anything I'm doing, I really try to kill it. And as soon as I even feel something in my heart or in my mind telling me to start moving towards something else, I begin working toward that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't overthink it, because a lot of times people will overthink their submission.
Mm-hmm.
And they just allow themselves to get abused.
Yeah.
They just allow themselves to get abused by their leader, by their coworkers, by anybody to honor God.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you honor God in the name of you getting abused?
Yeah.
Like, God is not an advocate for you to get abused, taken advantage of. Like, there's no reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad that a lot of people fall into that.
Yeah.
So to me, healthy submission is being the best version of yourself in what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And submission is also leaving when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, that's why
good.
there's so many people that are still in the same position that they're in when they should have left years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that takes a lot of self-awareness. I think it takes a lot of self-awareness of knowing who you are internally and knowing what is grounding you. Because if you don't know that, you're just going to say yes to everything, even if it's bad for you.
And then the way you said, like, you had to basically catch yourself, right? In the midst of like, oh, I'm saying yes to this, and eventually kind of learning to be like the youth pastor or the next youth pastor or whatever the case is, and being self-aware, like you said, to catch yourself. So then talk about that release, that permission, if you will, from God to just go ahead and be free, right?
Yeah.
So then now you jump to, is it Tiger Teeth, or did you know it was going to be that?
When I felt that release and that validation in my heart to quit, I did it, and I did it in a timely manner. I said, hey, I'm gonna finish out the year, right, and help raise up the next guy, which was just a noble thing to do.
Yeah.
I want to finish strong. So in doing that, the entire time I'm working and preparing for my exit so that I got something lined up.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm working with the restaurant to become a bartender, and I'm also doing all the free photography and videos that I can do. I'm literally whoring myself out.
Yeah.
I was the sluttiest person in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, please hire me.
I'll take it.
I don't care. Use and abuse
Use
me.
Use me.
And dude, I just have such a broken heart for people that obsess over people pleasing.
Yeah.
Because those people, I was one of them, they're missing out on everything God has for them.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't know it, but subconsciously they have made idols out of who they're working for. And out of the name of submission and serving Christ, they allow themselves to get abused or stay put in a place where they can't thrive.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of being taken advantage of and being stuck somewhere just to fill a position.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way in hell I can do that. There's no way I could ever be that. So, bro, me and my wife, we were broke the first year we quit. We paid all our bills.
Yeah.
We never had to ask for money, which was so cool. But like when I tell you we barely got by, we barely got by.
Yeah.
And I take 2021 as my test year of God trying to see if I was really about that life. And I was.
Yeah.
We barely made any money, but we made all ends meet. And in the second year, things took off. Like I started working with a lot of different people for podcasting.
Yeah.
And it took me to another level I've never experienced in my life. Emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of that. But it was, bro, that's 7 years of just waiting.
Yeah.
That's like a long
time
for someone in their 20s. Like that feels like a lifetime. So this isn't just some success story, some kid from the hood. This was 7 years of just waiting around.
Yeah. And then it's funny you say that because you think about 7 years then or back then, which was not that long ago, but I say that to say, like, imagine telling somebody today they're gonna have to wait 7 years, like in today's era, today's time,
Right.
with like the Andrew Tates and all the very masculine go get it mentality.
Yeah.
I'm speaking just for guys right now. Like just telling somebody you're gonna have to wait 7 years before you get your break, or before you even get somewhere where you can be like, all right, cool, I feel like I'm doing something like that I feel like I'm supposed to be in. That's tough. It was tough back then.
It is.
And imagine now.
But even right now, what I'm experiencing right now, I feel like I'm creatively cock-blocked.
Yeah.
Right now, because I like my back against the wall.
Uh-huh.
I like when things aren't working because I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm an Enneagram 3. I don't know do you know anything about the Enneagram?
Not off the top of my head.
It's a leadership system to help you.
I know what it is, but if you tell me you're a 3, I can't remember what the 3s are.
It just helps you understand yourself better. So mine is a 3, which is an achiever, and which can be healthy and unhealthy. And I liked when things like the last 7 years have been some of the most fun years of my life.
Yeah.
Get this. Now that everything has worked for a hood kid, like I got money in the bank, marriage is great, like we're chilling now.
Yeah.
I've never been more bored in my life. I've never been more, again, creatively cock-blocked, feeling like what is the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
So unhealthy side of that is just to continue to strive, because that will never end.
Yeah.
I'll never be satisfied, right? Healthy side, I need to try to be okay with where I am and just let it be. But that is where I am right now. Like, to be fully transparent.
Yeah.
Things on the outside are super dope. And I think, I always want to go back and point people to, you just need to learn who you are. Do not lose yourself in your job, in your church, in your spouse. Like, you need to know who you are.
Yeah.
And I lost myself for so long, and it made me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Bro, how embarrassing is that? Like, I was willing to take my life because I didn't feel like I was good enough for some random person that I don't even talk to anymore.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, dog.
It is. And we can kind of relate in that aspect, because I've also tried to kill myself too. And it's like, it's funny because I feel like we kind of have the same humor. Like, we have like this dark humor of like, imagine you try to kill yourself and you fail. Like, that's embarrassing. You couldn't even kill yourself.
You couldn't even follow through with that.
You couldn't even
you
do
really
that.
aren't good enough.
You couldn't even do that, bro. Like, and so I want to touch on something, kind of backtrack a little bit on the whole people pleasing thing, because I'm like the same way. I never was a people pleaser, but I feel like that second part that you said, where you just feel like you have this like heartbrokenness for people who just always live like that. I was having a conversation the other day with a friend, and they're just like that. They're just people pleasing, and it takes so much for them to like understand or like register in their head that they don't need to do that. Yeah. And like you said, they will people please to the point of like staying in a toxic relationship or staying at a toxic work environment or even church environment. And it's like, yo, like, I know you probably feel like, oh, well, I just feel like I need to serve here. Like, okay, but at what cost?
Yeah.
You know, like you said, I don't think God wants you sitting around being abused emotionally by leadership or like taken advantage of because you feel like you owe something to this place, whether it be your job, church, or whatever. Like, like that's not what God wants for you. And I feel like we end up having these like emotional ties to these places, maybe because of nostalgia or we grew up here or whatever the case is. But it's like, it's not worth your like peace. It's not worth your sanity. Totally. It's not worth relationships of like, or losing relationships is what I mean. Like, it's not worth losing relationships in the sense of like, man, like you're so caught up in this, like I don't even want to be around you anymore. And it's just like, man, like if we can,
man, drop them, bro.
It's like, just like if we could figure out a place where we can find that freedom. Yeah, I guess like you did, and like you said, we're missing out on so much. Yeah, from God, we are, and from the people around us. Because it's like, it's sad to see it when you experienced it. So it's like, you said be self-aware, right? But it's like, how do you tell someone to be somewhat self-aware? How do you teach someone to be self-aware? How do they come out of that? You know what I mean?
Dude, it is such a weird and complex thing to explain. Because it makes, if someone, I'm dealing with this right now in my life. If somebody doesn't understand how to get themselves out of a pit, you can only do so much. Yeah. I have friends right now, they're at rock bottom and they don't know they're in rock bottom. That is how much, and this is really sad, that's how much some people can endure pain. Some people have a very high pain tolerance to where they could lose everything, continue to ruin their own life, and not know that they need to change. Their pain tolerance is too high. For me, it took one thing to happen, and I'd be like, I have to get my life together. But there's some people I know that they just keep hitting a new rock bottom, and they're not aware of it. And because of, their childhood and how they were brought up and what's locked into their belief system, they might not want to change. Yeah. There might be a mental roadblock to where they don't compute in that regard. Me and you, if there's something happening in our life and we know that it's affecting us emotionally, physically, mentally, there might be a drive to work out of that. Yeah. I know some people that self-sabotage their life and they don't want help. And I don't know how to teach it other than modeling it. Dude, with that question right there, I'm living it out right now because I don't know. Yeah. There's two friends I'm thinking of right now, and I can't do anything for them.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I literally accepted. I'm like, one of these people are probably going to die from a drunk car accident. And I've accepted that. And all I can do is just model the life that I'm living and love them. But it's hard. It's hard when someone doesn't want it for themselves.
What about people who claim to be so emotionally aware of themselves or so aware of themselves that they're actually not? I used to be cool with somebody, right? And they said they were trying to deepen or reconcile, not even reconcile, but just really strengthen their relationship with God, right? That's great. That's fine. I'm not going to take that away from you. And they started to distance themselves
From you?
From me. And it was noticeable, right? When you're cool with somebody, you don't even got to be best friends. When you're just cool with somebody, you hang out every once in a while, you talk or you text, whatever. Like, you can notice when someone's like kind of,
Totally.
Yeah.
And
so that's what was happening. I didn't really think much of it, but I knew it was happening. And hey, you want to go hang out? Hey, you want to go? You
reaching out to them.
This is me reaching out to them. You want to go watch the game? You want to go grab some dinner? You want to go to the fair? Whatever, right? Hang out. Nah, I'm busy. I'm doing this, doing that. Okay, great. That's fine. Until one day I said, yo, as a joke, but kind of serious, I'm like, yo, if you ever, or I was like, just let me know when you're free or if you ever want to hang out again. Right? LOL,
Right, yeah.
I don't literally mean it.
You're
like,
just trying to lighten the tension.
I'm just trying
it's
to,
already awkward as it is.
It's like, bro, like you already being weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're not telling us what's wrong.
Yeah.
We are trying to hang out. I am trying to hang out with you. I am trying to do stuff. And I get a salute emoji back. And that was it. And I was like, yo, what's up? Like, are you good? And I kid you not. In response to me asking if they were good, get an AI generated text. Basically saying, I've been wanting to talk to you. I've been whatever, going through this. And then the text ends with, I hope this doesn't affect our friendship, blah, blah. But the wording of the text and the wording of everything, you can tell they didn't write it. This person did not write that text. They sent it, they generated it in an AI and sent it to me. Okay, whatever. So I called them out on it and I said, yo, this seems like an AI generated text. Like, if you just want to talk, like, let's talk. Or just text me yourself. Yeah. Like, or let's hop on a phone call. And then I get, with all due respect, I've said what I needed to say. I wish you the best with your business and your endeavors. So basically, chunking up the deuces, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I know the first text wasn't this person was because the first text mentions, I hope you can understand, and I hope this doesn't affect our friendship. And then the next text says, basically, peace.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And okay, and it did hurt. I'm not going to lie, right?
Yeah,
because you're friends with this person, you're cool with them. But my thing was, like, where was the disconnect? What happened? Because you claim to be so emotionally aware. You claim to be a person who talks about everything. But all of a sudden, whenever I'm trying to understand, like, your life and what's going on, it's not there. In the midst of that, I feel like maybe they were trying to be so aware that they weren't aware of, like, how it was going to make me feel, how it was going to leave me. So it's like, where's the balance in that, I guess? Like, would you reach out to that person after that? So my question to you is, how would you approach something like that? Right? This isn't even like an interview question. This is me straight up asking you, like,
bro, absolutely.
Would you continue to, like, pursue a conversation, or now that you've actually left the ball in their court?
No. Let it go. Bro, I would get the heck out of there so fast. Yeah, you deserve someone that is going and not afraid of confrontation. Confrontation is really good for you. Confrontation is not bad. Confrontation literally is two people choosing together to face the same way at a problem.
Yeah.
Let's consult and collaborate to figure this problem out. And some people are afraid of that because confrontation can mean a lot of things. It's subjective to so many different people. For me, it's exciting because I look at it as collaborative.
Yeah.
What can we do together to get to a greater solution that benefits the both of us? But for some people, maybe your friend, and I have friends too, where they are so avoidant of anything that has to do with confrontation because of whatever may be going on in their life. I think a lot of it's rooted in the way they grew up and how they were taught what confrontation is, right? A lot of times confrontation can mean I'm going to get hurt, so I might as well run now before Tony can hurt me. I don't want him to hurt me, so I'm choosing to leave for the greater good of both of us. Sometimes they think they're doing the right thing for both of y'all, right? And sometimes it is good to leave people on red. It's like peace, especially if someone's abusive in any way, emotionally, verbally, physically. Deuces, roll out. They can figure that out.
Yeah, I don't owe you nothing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I've been in so many similar situations, especially with my friends that I grew up with, because I grew up in a really rough neighborhood, and a lot of my friends that grew up there, they kept that mindset. They stayed there, like mentally. And as I begin to grow, I grew out of that. Even though I still love the hood and I will always visit, and that's where my family's from, I always want the best for everybody, especially for myself, selfishly.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, I want the best for me.
As you should.
Right? Because that's going to affect everyone that I'm leading.
Yeah.
My wife, my future kids, my parents, everybody. And for me, I'm naturally a people pleaser. So when I've been in your shoes, and I'm currently am with some friends I have now, it is very heartbreaking. It's really sad because you're trying to convey to that person, I love you so much. I'm willing to go into this war with you so we can figure this out.
Yeah.
But you're choosing to leave me on red and walk away. So what you're communicating to me is that you don't love me. You aren't willing to sacrifice, and you're not willing to go to war because I am of no value to you. That's how I've received it
and
in an unhealthy way.
That's kind of how I felt, right? So like I said, I was never given the opportunity, right, to
you
be
were
able
willing to confront.
I was willing to confront the situation, confront myself, whatever it is. And I think just obviously the bigger picture, the bigger conversation here is like confrontation is important, right? Conversation is important. What did I do that made you feel like you needed to cut me off so abruptly? And if we have a conversation and you still want to move on, that is okay.
Right.
But we had the conversation, and now next time we see each other, it's still love.
You know what I would encourage you with? I'm walking this out right now.
Yeah.
Man, I would, you know how many, in the past 6 minutes, how many disclaimers you had to put up? I would encourage you, you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's called verbal gymnastics. Right? You're just like, please, just trust me. I don't hate you. Like, dude, you don't have to do that because you did your part. And what I'm having to teach myself, because dude, trust me, I am the verbal gymnastics expert. I am all about like, please love me. I don't want to lose you. I'll do anything I just want you to know I don't hate you. Right?
Yeah.
And learning now, I am learning to be comfortable with being misunderstood. If you believe any narrative about me that isn't true, I have to be okay with that because I know myself enough that I have nothing to prove to you. You are not God. You are not my idol. You are not my dictator. You are nothing to me. As harsh as that sounds, it's true.
It's true.
It is true.
What's funny is that you say that is because I'm like, so I'm like the complete opposite, right? Like I'm giving you verbal gymnastics now, but like I've had to like reel it back, you know, because when I didn't have God, bro, like I would just say whatever, right?
You were more harsh.
I was more harsh, straight up.
Got it.
I'm going to tell you what's on my mind.
Right.
And I don't care how you feel. And I don't care like what you think. So like I had to learn to like reel it back a little bit. Still speak
be a little more cordial.
Still speak your mind, but like, you know, like, whoa, like chill. Like not everything's an absolute. That's the main thing. I had to learn not to speak in absolutes. Right.
So like hard.
I'm just like, this is it. Right. I had to learn how not to do that. So I think, and I ain't even gonna lie. Like that's kind of what I've been struggling with these past, like probably like year now. I'm just like thinking to myself, like, man, I used to be so outspoken, right? Whether it be good or bad. But why don't I do that no more? Like, why don't I share my opinions? Why don't I go on, IG story and just share what's on my mind? Like, I know how to do it better now. Why don't I do it? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I've had to learn. And so now I'm stuck in the freaking, now I'm giving verbal gymnastics now because I'm like, I reeled it back in too much.
Yeah.
To the point now I'm like, hey, just want you to know, I'm also in the wrong. Like how you're saying.
You know what helps, bro? What I'm learning now is the only way to really tap into the phrase of it doesn't bother me, I'm not affected by you, like whatever, is keeping your nervous system calm, right? When your nervous system flares up, I got to prove something to you because you don't know how I feel. Like, you're up here. What I've learned is the person in a debate or a confrontation with the most regulated nervous system, meaning the most emotionally calm in their tolerant window, that's the person that wins the debate.
Yeah.
The other person looks like a fool because they're trying to prove something, right? So what I have done to help me stay in that box of tolerance where my nervous system stays here and I'm not up here trying to prove something and getting heated and angry or depressed or whatever, is having empathy for the other person, whether they are a nightmare to deal with or they're great. If, like, for your friend, I'm in my head, I'd be like, I wonder what happened to them that makes them this way, because that person's being love avoidant, right? They're choosing to avoid a deeper relationship with you. Confrontation, that's intimacy. That's like getting vulnerable, and you see me, I see you, emotionally naked. This is how I feel, and let's converse to get to a better place. But that person's like, hell no.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send you an AI text, right? Like, I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid this situation.
That's what it was. It's just,
so in the moment, that would make me so angry.
Yeah.
And then I have
I
to.
was angry. I was angry.
I would be pissed. I'd be disrespected, all of it. And then when I finally get calm, I just have to, I have to remind myself intentionally, what did this person go through? Was their daddy not there? Were they abused by their mom? Were they sexually molested? I just have to do all of those things to get me back. Yeah. And then the dangerous part of that too, when you start thinking unhealthily, you'll be like, but I've been through this too. And who are they to, that actually doesn't even matter. So I'm on the same boat, dude. I have so many friends that there are so many relationships right now that I'm grieving because they're dead.
Yeah.
Some people are choosing to not have a deeper and intimate relationship with me. As much as I try to pursue them, they don't want it.
And I think that's what it hurts, because I think that's why it hurts more, because we were close. We were super close. And so it's just like to go from here to here, and it's like, dude, what happened? Like, I know what you're telling me or what you're saying you're going through, but you're cutting me off, and I wasn't even given the opportunity to mend whatever you felt I did or whatever you felt like you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really sad, man. And it is, like, people need to know, like, it's a grieving process. It's the same as if someone died in your family. You have to grieve that relationship and accept that it's gone. Yeah. Because some people, we give our friends too much credit. Like, we're trying to put them on, we're setting a level of expectation that they can't meet. Yeah. So for your friend and the friends I have too, if they can't meet this expectation of choosing intimacy and vulnerability and willing to confront, bro, that's all I need to know. If you can't make it to that level, I'm not going to bother you no more, because at that point, the ball's in our court. Yeah. As sad as it is, it's like, okay. And you got to let it go.
And somebody asked me, they said, well, what if they approached you and wanted to have a conversation with you? Would you have a conversation? I said, yes, I'll have a conversation. And I said, would you go back to it being the same, or would you see yourself kind of being friends like that again? And I said, no. Yeah. Not because, like I said, right, we don't have a problem with you, but it's just like, you put me through all of that, and then you want to have a conversation 6 months later or whatever, whatever the time is. Like, no hard feelings, but no, why would I want that?
Yeah, no, you have permission to set boundaries for yourself, because it's always case by case how the person hurt you. whether it's minimal, because it was just a lot of times it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You know, like the other person could have been avoidant because they were suicidal or they lost someone in their life and they didn't know how to deal with it and they didn't want any help.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. And then you get on the same page and then you're both crying and you're like, I love you so much. Right. And that's beautiful. And then there's sometimes where that person willingly just sucks. Like they're just not great because they're not healed.
Yeah.
They haven't done their soul work to find themselves and heal from that inner child that's broken. So a lot of times, bro, I mean, most of the people that aren't doing their soul work, you're dealing with, let's say, for example, your friend. If that person was deeply traumatized at age 11, when the one person they were supposed to count on failed them and let them down, and they never healed from that situation, you're dealing with an 11-year-old right now.
Yeah.
Even though they're a grown person,
Yeah.
you're talking to an 11-year-old kid because they never, ever healed from that. So as soon as there's confrontation, they deuce out. They don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
And then they won't fight for the relationship. So I think as hard as it is, you got to know when to walk away. Cordially, though, and gracefully, full of love, because sometimes we walk away so nasty and we burn bridges we don't have to.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you something that I'm sure you won't mind getting into, but I feel like it's just fun. It'll just be fun to
I'm
ask
afraid
you.
to talk about anything.
Okay.
He's like, are you?
I control my own destiny.
like,
That's how you sound. I want to talk about your buddy Steve. TikTok Steve.
Oh, TikTok. Dude, I'm not even being funny right now. I hope he's alive.
No, I believe you. I believe you, because we had a little conversation about him about a year ago. I asked you about him, but right, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I feel like in the midst of your journey in your life and starting Tiger Teeth, because I was in the middle of that.
It was. Oh my God. Forgot about that.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Did that moment, right, that viral moment, just generally, like, did that shape part of who you are today in a way? And if not, let's just get into the story, how it happened, because I think that's a fun story in and of itself.
Yeah, very briefly, I found someone on the street, literally, while I was jogging in my neighborhood, and he was a homeless guy that had traveled to Dallas just because he wanted to go to Upper Room Church, dude. He was a recovering addict. Beautiful soul, like such a sweet human being. He just had a few demons. You know, he had an addiction demon that was haunting him, and he had an anger demon, and he was very upfront and aware about all of his pain. Yeah. And I walked with him through it, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, are you down if I document this?" And he's like, "I would love that." And my goal was, it was all for him. So in totality, I think we only made maybe 22, 25 TikTok videos, which in the TikTok world, that's not a lot.
Yeah. People are dropping like 10 a day, especially at that time.
Right.
They were like, there was those videos.
It was like right after COVID.
There was those videos like, if you want to grow on TikTok, you need to drop 10 videos a day. I'm like, damn.
No. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, you're struggling. You just got here. You have a crazy story. Let me just document us getting you kind of back on your feet." And
you're a great storyteller, by the way.
Thank you. It was so fun. Like, and I would try and raise money, and we would give it to him, and gave him money. Then he slept, dude. He slept in my car. I helped him get a job. The dude was a beast, like such a genuine guy. And then we parted ways because I think he went back home. Yeah, and I haven't talked to him since. But he that was the start of me tapping into that's the first time I saw, like, I have something special to offer the world. I know how to tell a story. I know how to help people elevate themselves online. So I did that, and then I made I went viral twice. So that was with Steve, and then on the Super Bowl, I made a reaction video to 50 Cent being hung upside down.
Yeah.
I just made a reaction video, and then I woke up in the morning, had 9 million views.
That's crazy.
So then I started doing pop culture reactions, which I had a lot of fun doing that. But I just kept I've always struggled with suicide since I was like 12. So I just went back into a dark place and I didn't care about it anymore. It didn't excite me. So
But you did a whole separate account for that too, right?
Yeah, two different accounts.
And you grew that one.
I went viral 3 times trying to, I just know how to do it. Like, it was just easy for me. I did it with Steve. I did it with the pop culture account. And then I made a comedy account where.
And you grew that one too.
I grew that one too. But that wasn't on that one. I was making perfect podcast clips.
Yeah.
I just type up the captions, like make it cute. And so people could consume the content. But I figured like that is actually what gave me my business model for what I have now. Because I'm a producer now and I help people that have a small influence online just scale.
You gave him a car too?
Steve?
Yeah. Didn't you give him a car?
I did give him a car.
You gave him a car,
bro. That car is like in Nashville. I don't know, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, that was like a whole like cultural moment, bro. Like for those who knew, like if you knew, you knew.
Hey, bro.
It was one of those moments, bro.
You're making my heart cry. I don't even see. That's how. I need to account for my life more often. I don't spend enough time life moves so fast.
But like I only bring it up because that was an impactful time. Obviously, not only for Steve, but for you, for like people watching. Like people were invested.
It was fun.
People become invested. Like people wanted to meet Steve. Yeah. People like, and then he made a TikTok or you made him one and they were following him. And then he was like kind of documenting too. And you could tell like the Lord was moving in his life at the time. And he was, you could tell like the light around him and just the joy that it brought him to just kind of be around you. And then kind of he was at the upper room prayer services. You ran into him at the upper room prayer services.
He'd be sleeping in there.
Yeah, bro.
So it was warm. It was safe in there.
It was definitely like a moment. I feel like I just had to bring it up. Like I just had to.
I miss him, dude. I hope he's well. I hope he's alive, genuinely. But
do you know how to reach him?
No, I have no connection to him. But man, that's crazy that you brought that up. That really was the catalyst because that's my business model.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
So it did have an impact in your life,
bruh.
It was it was a vital moment in your life and your journey.
It's literally, that whole business model is what I do for my clients. Post Monday through Friday, and we film powerful content that's organic to them.
Yeah,
that's what I do, and I love doing it. But right now, I'm definitely feeling. I think this is like any artist. I feel so creatively cock-blocked right now. I'm like, I want something new, and I don't know what that is. So,
pause on there. Okay, we'll get there because you keep bringing it up. It's just heavy on your mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And also, a quick shout out to you. I want to shout you out and tell you how much I appreciate you because in the midst of your, starting Tiger Teeth and your first year, you shot our Christmas photos. I think
we did.
I think completely for free. I think I gave you like a tip or something. Pause.
Not the tip, dog.
Not the pause.
We didn't do that. We didn't do that.
And like I remember we rearranged our whole apartment and we had the tree there and the dogs.
Went to the back.
There was poop.
Yeah.
And then so big shout out to you, bro. In the middle of all that, like you were like you said, bro, we were barely getting by and dude was giving out free photo shoots. And so
I look at you as family, bro. Even though we barely hang out, like we're family.
We're family, bro.
Like, we grew up together indirectly.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really I didn't put 2 and 2 together till we got older.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyone that grows up with me, like, bro, you get a gold pass with me.
I feel the same, bro. I appreciate you. So just a quick shout out on that. All right. So then you fast forward. It was 2020 you started Tiger Teeth or 2021? Beginning of 2021?
Yeah, the January 1st, 2021.
2021. Okay. And you do all that. You're working with people. You're shooting music videos. And then somehow along that way, Tim Ross comes along and y'all start the basement. Talk a little bit about that and meeting him and being the producer for his pod and his show, because I might have just missed it, but to me it was kind of like a one jump to another. Obviously that's not how it went, but like how I perceived it is like one moment you're doing Tiger Teeth and you're pushing it and you're doing this, and then one moment you're like, I'm rolling with Tim for the majority of this time. Obviously I know there's background stuff that you're doing and working, talking to people, but just that transition of how you went from this to like now almost full-time doing this, or maybe you are full-time. I don't know.
No, not full-time at all. Yeah, no, Tiger Teeth is my LLC. That's a company that I'm still scaling right now. I work with a lot of cool people. I just don't promote it. Yeah. It's just a self-sustained business.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I understand what you mean by the shift. It looked big because online it got famous.
Yeah.
Like the basement went really dummy viral and it started reaching a lot of people. So it did look like a full-time job, but it's not. I think I clock in maybe 10 hours a week for the basement.
Yeah.
You know, super chill.
But you know how to tell the story so well that it just
and we edit a lot, so there's content every day. It looks like we're just working nonstop.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're like the most rested ever. But yeah,
how did that relationship just kind of come about?
It's the first time I ever met Tim. My friend JB Copeland, you just met him, the tall white dude, and he was wanting to start a podcast, and he didn't have money to like pay me. So I offered. I said, "Hey, anything you need, like I'd love to help you."
Yeah,
because I just wanted to expand my wings, and I always seeking, like, if there's an opportunity presented, I want to kill it in any way I can, because you don't know what could happen out of that. So I did it for free, and he wanted to interview Tim, and it was a really big deal for him to do it. He was excited, and we did it. And I just emailed Tim's assistant like the week after, and I said, "Hey, if Tim needs anything production wise, let me know." And we met 2 weeks later, I think, and he told us his vision for the Basement podcast. And we all collectively decided to lock it in. Yeah. So I literally started it with my buddy Sam Byers. It was just him, Sam, myself, Sam, and Tim. And it was just us as producers asking Tim questions and going back and forth. It's not more complicated than that, because that was last July.
Yeah. It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It hasn't been that long.
It was not long ago.
Yeah.
So it was really fast, and it's been really cool. It's reached a lot of people. I think I'm at the place now though where I've helped them make it work. Like from here on out, it's just gonna grow. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I completely understand.
That is what I mean when I say creatively cock-blocked. Right now, it's just a job. Yeah. Because that is the nature of the grind of scaling something. And now there's a powerful community. We call them the dwellers. I love them. They're my family. And as a creative, it's like, okay, what's next? Yeah. And that's not bad. That's not there's not a rebellious bone in my body of saying, I want to leave the basement. There's no. I'm just saying, for me, I've helped do my job of getting Tim's vision out there. Yeah. And it worked. And God is doing super cool things. Now I am waiting for the Lord to just bring another opportunity so that I could kind of have that twinkle in my eye again. Yeah. And I'm learning to be okay if he doesn't. Yeah. There's like two sides of the coin. There is someone, pray for me, bro. This will be really cool if this happens. Do you know who Gabriel Iglesias is?
Bro, yes.
I DM'd him, bro. I messaged him on Instagram, and I couldn't believe he actually responded to me like 2 minutes after I texted him.
Really?
Dude, I said it in the wimpiest way possible. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Fluffy, I am very responsible and would love to be a video editor. Let me know. like let me know what's dumbest way to like text him, because I was like, he's not gonna see this.
Yeah.
He responded. Dude, he's super cool. He's like, give me 5 ideas that you could execute. I don't want to see any links or resumes. Yeah. And we just talked, and we both agreed that in January of 2024, we're gonna meet and we're going to talk about what we can do.
So, bro, that's awesome.
Pray for me.
That's awesome.
To me, if that happens, that'll definitely be like a cool God opportunity, because I do want to be involved in, the basement is like super believer centered, very discipleship based, Jesus based. Yeah. I want to be in the world too. Like I want to do something with secular people, not in rebellion, but I want to bring the gospel everywhere. Bro. I don't want to just be on the Christian pod. I want to be doing that. And I want to go to help produce comedy shows. Yeah. And they might be filthy and nasty, whatever, but I do want to be a light everywhere. So that's an opportunity I'm personally seeking. I am not putting the God card on it saying it's the Lord. Yeah. But it might be. So I am, that's where I am right now.
Yeah, no, I completely understand you. And I feel like we had a very brief conversation about this. I don't know if you remember, about stuff and ideas that I wanted to do with La Familia.
Yes, FI
and I had some friends and family saying, I don't like that idea. Why are you posting this, or why are you doing this? And I'm like, in the moment, I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm just like, this is what the people need to see. Like I'm promoting a shirt or a beanie or whatever, and this is how I want to portray it. Like that's just how I need to portray it in order for people to buy in. I don't know like how to explain it, but like you said, it's like, but I'm bringing the gospel. I'm bringing a message to people of like, hey, like once you look into the brand, you're gonna see like, hey, like we're pretty different than like other brands. Like they don't, you know, it's a guy who's a Christian who believes in God, but like he still does dope stuff, and and he's not like pushing an agenda of like everyone's going to hell if you don't, you know what I mean? It's just dope content, dope stuff, and relationship and clean messages, but it's like portraying it in a way that I know is like how do I say it? Just portraying it in a way that I know needs to be portrayed. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you know how to explain it.
It's unique to you. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're portraying a message that God placed in your heart that's only unique to you. Our fingerprints, all of us have different little ribbons.
Yeah.
We're all designed completely differently, right? Even though we have a lot of similarities, we're all different. He designed us that way. Like you're the only you that'll ever exist.
Yeah.
Ever. And I think that's really precious when you hear something from God and you're still willing to put it out even when you're receiving pushback. I think that's special.
It's like whenever you hear the saying, right? You know, we're coming or we're showing or teaching from the church, not to the church. So my message is not for people in church. It's like it's great if y'all buy the stuff or hear the podcast, and like that's awesome. But ultimately, it's not for you.
Yeah,
you already have it halfway figured out. Right. You know God, right? You know of God at least, right?
Yes.
And you're gonna be able to make that decision. But what about those who don't? What about those who feel lost? What about those who want to be a part of something but just don't know how because they're trying to get away from this? And it's like I want to bridge that gap, right? Totally. I always say, like my message is to bridge the gap between faith and culture, right? Coexist with the culture, but not compromise. Like I'm not compromising anything. I'm not compromising the gospel, but I can coexist with you and show you, hey, like there's different ways to do it. There's a dope way to do it. There's a different brand that's doing it different that maybe you can relate to.
I mean, you look at two artists in the music space. You have DJ Khaled and Kanye, and specifically DJ Khaled. He put the song out, God Did.
Yeah.
He had almost the entire globe with their tongue saying God.
Yeah.
God did, whether they meant it or believed it or whatever. That's gospel, bro. Like that is powerful. And whether even DJ Khaled is even aware of what he's doing, no matter what, even I'm gonna botch it up, but Paul says, I don't care how they present it, as long as the gospel's getting out there, that's what I'm gonna celebrate.
That's what I'm concerned about.
I'm going to celebrate that it's getting out there.
Yeah.
And I think people are really comfortable with putting Jesus in a very small box. I think the dude knew how to navigate in so many different spaces. He wasn't just like a church guy.
Yeah.
He would go preach in a synagogue as a rabbi, and then he would leave and he would go talk to people, hoodlums and degenerates out in the streets. And he would go talk to terrible tax collectors, and he'd ask, I forgot the guy's name, the little guy that got in the tree. Forgot what his name was in the Bible.
I forgot.
But he says, hey, go get all your other degenerate friends and let's have dinner together.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And I think you can operate. I think humans are beautifully complex. And we I don't know why we're so tribalistic and wanting to put people in small boxes. Like you can only go preach at a church and like, that's what you got to do. That's real Christian. I'm like, dude, you can go preach at a church and you can go to a bar and buy a shot for someone and talk to them about their mom that just passed away.
Yeah.
And you can go to there's so many different things. And I think we're so beautifully complex. So many people miss out on how to reach other people because they're simple-minded.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's
very sad.
It's really heartbreaking. But I do love what you're doing. And it really excites me because, I mean, you know me, every time we talk, I try to just give you some game, like what I think you should do. I still think you should do a live worship recording for La Familia. I think that would be like really powerful and could probably do really well online. It would be really fun for you.
That'd be dope.
But I like seeing people I know personally doing something powerful that's unique to them. Like you're not out there trying to prove anything to anybody. You're just doing what you feel like you're assigned to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's really special.
Nah, bro, I appreciate that. I think the big lesson that I've kind of had to learn, and I really don't have no problem accepting, is like everyone is, and it sounds cliche, right? But everyone moves at their own pace, right? You know, not everyone's gonna move as fast and grow as fast as the basement. Like, right? Whenever I tell someone, hey, like I'm leveling up, right? Like, I don't, you may think leveling up is, oh, he thinks he's gonna grow his platform to 1 million subscribers or whatever. Like, no, leveling up for me is being more consistent. Leveling up for me is having more guests on and having different conversations and like really bettering myself so I can better the brand. Like, and I think that's the most important thing for me right now, right? So it's like I haven't been as consistent because I started a new job and some other stuff going on, right? But leveling up for me next is more like just consistency, and that's kind of like the biggest thing right now, right? And understanding that, hey, you're not gonna grow as fast as other people, and that's okay. And I've also kind of understood too, like even if it never was meant to grow huge, never got huge, I know that because God has placed this in me, that I've already made impact.
That's
like, and people have told me, like they come up to me after the event and they say, "This changed my
Did
life."
someone get a tattoo?
Yes, my cousin.
Yeah, bro.
Got La Familia tatted on her bicep. Like,
that's influence. And you, bro, you were successful when you obeyed. If God asked you to do it, that is...
I'm gonna be like Tim.
Throw the mic away. You were successful when you obeyed God. When he asked you to do something, you already won in life.
Yeah.
Whether that it becomes a really viral thing or not. But what I do want to encourage you to is some things don't have to be a failure. So yes, it's awesome that you obeyed and that's successful. But I also think some people miss out on opportunity of scaling what they're doing.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah,
either.
Like, and they sell God short. And God's like, hey, bro, I was giving you a layup. Like, come on, like, make it happen. So, what I would encourage you is, bro, if the Lord told you to do that, tap in. Like, lose some sleep over it. You know, go have a be a little unhealthy and like do what you have to do, knowing that you're doing the right thing. Dude, I mean, there's so many times that I have lost so much sleep. I'm tired right now. And just doing what I know I have to do. And I found so much happiness in it. So I believe in La Familia, bro. I really do. I think there's so much different things you could do with it. I really think what would be really cool is live events.
Give me all of it. Give me all of it.
I think live events, bro. Because at live events, you can incorporate...
I'm trying to... I can hold it, but I'm just trying to make sure it's...
You might need to just hold it. It's okay. We're already over an hour. We can wrap up.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up.
You don't have to keep dying.
We're about to wrap up.
Here's what I think. Here's what I would want as a consumer. If that might help.
Yeah.
For you to think. For me as a consumer, I would love if you threw some events that I would do art shows. One example, I would do an art show where you could have lots of original art that you created or you and your team created that people can sightsee, have fun. I would have a cocktail bar and just an experience for them. But the main session is a live podcast.
Yeah.
Where it's you and another guest, an influential guest too, like something really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen Shepard Fairey do it. He's Obey Giant. He crushed it. Like, it was that simple. Come to my art show, walk around, have a drink, watch my live podcast. It was so much fun. It was a ticketed event. You can make a lot of money, and it gives people community.
Yeah.
I think that's the next level for everyone to really grow in anything you're doing is you have to build a strong community. Bro, it's gonna pay your bills for life.
That's the biggest thing, yeah.
Bro, you get 100,000 people to commit $10 a month to you, it's over.
That's it.
You are chilling. You are chilling.
Yeah.
So that's what I would, as a consumer for La Familia, I would love to see art shows. That'd be really cool.
Okay.
And seeing you on stage doing a live pod. And then you don't have to do an event for this one, but I would film a live worship set. Because I know you've done some kind of like ministry centered events. Dude, I would make it a little more exclusive and I'd film it on really high end like cinema cameras like this and just make some original music, bro. Because then now for you, like Tony, you're broadening what Tony is. because you could produce some original music
Yeah.
that goes out in the world that belongs to you, right? And then over here you got artist Tony, and then over here you have live podcast show Tony.
Yeah.
That is what I see when I get around you and see what you're doing. And I get excited thinking about it because I feel like there's a lot more to you. You're not just one guy. You're an artist. You do a lot of different things.
And that's it. And you hit it right on the head. I agree. Like, that's kind of like my vision is to like La Familia is the brand, but I have this and I do this.
The name is perfect for community, bro. La Familia. It's perfect.
I want to transition into something to finishing up, right? I want to give you this.
He shoots me. He pulls out a gun and shoots me.
I kill you. I want to appreciate you, but now I have to kill you. All right, look. Okay, this is gonna be pretty funny.
Okay.
I know you've been supporting, and you say you support, and I'm not questioning that. Like, I know you say it, and I know you support.
Totally.
You were probably the first or second person to buy a T-shirt from me when we sold shirts.
You have my shirt?
I have your shirt. I have your shirt.
Hey, dog.
1 year later, sealed. This is the I didn't seal.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't seal this and come here. This is from when you bought it.
Never been opened.
It never been opened.
Hey, bro, that thing's gonna be worth some money one day.
Open it right now.
Wow.
And look at it.
Hello.
I was like,
hello. I'm what you've been waiting for.
Literally, no, literally though. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, dude. I remember I cash apped you or Zelled you or something.
You Venmo'd me or something, and
look at
but
that.
we were raising money, and we were, it was mainly for the money, right? To raise money.
Yeah.
And Hector was like, "Boom, here you go.
Oh, I'm always
$25 for the crappiest shirt I'll ever buy."
I'm a support, bro.
And so I figured as a gift.
I love it.
I'll bring you your shirt.
I'm glad you never delivered because one, I forgot, which is great.
Yeah.
And two, now I got one of the OGs. Like, that's cool.
You literally have an OG.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then I have some other gifts for you.
Okay.
So here's this. I'd give it to you better, but I have to hold his mic. So open this one right now.
I got you. Ooh, it's a thick boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got 2 of these, 3 of these, something in here.
So I have
hey, Jack. Oh,
2 beanies in there. I know you wear beanies.
Hey, I could get one for my wife.
And the other one is for wifey.
Look at that.
The other one is for wifey. So shout out Rachel.
Hey, bro, look, I could wear it like this, like a cholo. Bro.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying, Jack? No, bro, these are, and I love brown. Hey, bro, we're brown. I love brown.
Brown all the way.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, this is, and you got some really nice quality on this one. You switched it up.
That one, that one's a little bit higher.
Pro Club.
That one's a little higher quality.
Nice.
With the puff, you feel the puff print on there.
Yeah. Hey, Jack. No, that's beautiful.
So that one's a little bit different. And then I brought you another one.
I love that color. Let's see here, Jack. Let's see.
That was one of the ones that we kind of just dropped without really telling anybody.
You have this tattooed? Death to the old me?
No.
I thought you had that tattooed.
I don't have it tattooed. I should get it tattooed.
Bro, that is beautiful. I love the puffy print. That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Dude.
So that's just
thank you so much, bro.
A little gift for you.
Like, bless. I'm glad I waited a year. I got extras with
You got extra, bro.
I'm
so
chilling with it.
Yeah, bro. I just wanted to bring some stuff in. Obviously, not enough like clothes or beanies will let you know how much I appreciate you, bro. Like, you, for those of y'all who don't know, Hector, like, bro, he puts anyone on that he can. Like, and you have no issue doing it,
Ever.
and I appreciate that. And
you
bro,
know what I think it is? This is the last thing, and then we can wrap up. I think it's because I think one day we're all gonna do really well online. Like, I think we're gonna gain some sort of an online influence or a platform, and I want to take all of the people that I grew up with me. Like, as we're all growing, like I'm a loyalist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though we barely hung out growing up, it's like, that's my family. Like, I want to be able to say, like, dude, I've been supporting La Familia since they had 3 followers on IG, me, Tony, and his wife.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just a loyalist. So that's probably what it is.
No, and I definitely appreciate it. Like, I feel the same way. Like, bro, like, big or small, if I can put somebody on, like, I'll always try to put somebody on. And that's not. Like, I tell people, like I tell Jesse all the time, like, there's enough at the table for all of us to eat.
Absolutely.
I will gladly tell you what I did to start La Familia. I will gladly tell you what I did to make the shirts. Like, Because also, like, side note, you'll learn very fast. You can give people the ingredients, but they still got to cook it.
They got to cook it, dog.
They still got to cook the
They
meal.
gotta work.
And you'll find out very soon that 99% of the people will not cook it.
Burnt, or they didn't even start.
They'll like, you'll tell them, oh, it took me like $3,000 to start. I don't think I want to start no more. Like,
I'm not
yeah. So
nothing.
that's also a little side note why I don't mind telling people or putting people on, because I know a lot of the times they're not going to do the work.
Some people aren't about that life.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
And you just got to live with it. But
that's fine.
But yeah, but bro, like, I'm the same way, man. If I can put somebody on, I will. And I know you do it without a shadow of a doubt.
Bro.
You sent me the other day like some coupon for like 40% off some shoes, and I'm just like,
oh, from Center.
It's random. Like, yo, use this code. Use this code 40,
I'm cool with
40 off.
I'm cool with the owner, Nick, and he on his close friends list, he did a code, and I said, hey, I'm sending
it to everybody.
I'm ripping Nick off. I'm sending this to all of my friends.
But every once in a while, Nick's dope though, because every once in a while he'll also just post it publicly.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
So he's super dope too. So it just goes to show, like, you know, who you are and your character, bro. So I appreciate that.
I got you, bro.
I love you. I appreciate you taking the time.
It's air tag.
We'll dap up. We'll dap up right now in a minute. But man, this conversation was all over the place, but I love it. Hopefully y'all gain something out of it. Hey, share with somebody, like it. I don't know, but man, I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate Hector. Shout out Rachel, the wifey, for letting me borrow him. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Love you.